The fans have showed up. First tournament games in this building. And we're about ready to go. First round battle, the 3 against the 14 in the Bridgeport Regional. It's Indiana and Charlotte in Bloomington. Indiana, of course, in the white. Charlotte visiting in those green uniforms. Kevin Pethel, Kenny Nash, Missy Brooks are officials. Second meeting between these two. Their last faced off back in 2009. Here they are meeting in the first round of the NCAA Women's Championship. Ball movement, rhythm, a staple of this Indiana offense. Grace Berger with that first attempt, a little strong.
Yeah, they want to go inside out, though, and Charlotte did a great job not allowing them to do that on that first possession.
This is Molina Williams for 3.
Now, Molina Williams not talked about as much as the other players on Charlotte, but a very key player with a versatile skill set for them.
The sophomore from Graham, North Carolina. Baseline drive. This is Nicole Cardano-Hillary. Inside historic Assembly Hall. We're glad you're with us in Bloomington. The first tournament games played in this building ever. Just a minute and a half in with Helen Williams, Kevin Fitzgerald with you. Charlotte visiting in those green uniforms with the 1-point lead. It's the 14-3 battle in the Bridgeport Regional.
And this is where Indiana wants to go. Inside, you see the double team there. And the kick out to Gulbe. I'm just going to say it right now, my favorite player, Kevin.
That's your nickname for Alexa Gulbe. The senior from Riga, Latvia. This Indiana team, 22-8 on the year, reached the Big Ten tournament final a couple of weeks ago. It has been one of the more consistent teams and best teams in the nation from start to where we are now. After the missed 3, Nicole Cardano-Hillary starts the break. Grace Berger lays it up, has a pair of free throws coming.
Yeah, just a nice hesitation move there. She's so athletic and strong. You got to stay in front of her.
That's the first foul on Jet Wilson. Grace Berger, the unequivocal leader of this team, senior from Louisville, top scorer, can get it in a variety of ways. She leads, Helen, a very veteran team to begin with. You see what she's done. Went for 16 a game just about in that Big Ten tournament. Reached the final. And after Charlotte buried the first basket, a 7-0 Indiana run. This is our Capital One starting 5 for the 49ers. Octavia Jet Wilson, number 13 in those green uniforms. She is the 49ers' top scorer, goes for 19 a game. And was brilliant last week and route to the CUSA title. Allie Patberg travels.
Yeah, you see Indiana there, just a rhythm team trying to get their set, though, out of the fast break and the turnover there.
Now, Indiana does a phenomenal job of not doing that, of limiting turnovers. Top 40 in the nation at taking care of the basketball. You would expect that from a veteran team. And this is Jet Wilson, floats it up, that drops through.
And if you're guarding her, you're going to have to run through a lot of screens to try to guard her. You're going to get tired.
This is the Capital One starting 5 for Indiana. This is how Terry Morin counters. 5 1,000-point scorers. It's one of the most prolific starting 5s in the nation.
And they each average double figures in scoring, so you've got a game plan for 5 people.
Williams hands it off to Michaela Boykin. Shot clock winding. McMillan spins, puts it up, and it falls through. Knotted up at 7 in the early minutes of this first round battle in Bloomington.
And that's McMillan's game. She is going to attack the rim at any point in the possession.
Quick pass inside to Mackenzie Holmes. Misfire with the left hand. Just the second ever meeting between these two. They met in the early season tournament in 2009. It's been a while. That was a game in which Indiana won. Charlotte using some clock once again. McKinney comes to set the screen. McMillan, the three on the way from Boykin, offline. Indiana on the run. A really efficient offense. Holmes wants three. That one's offline.
See, for Indiana, their challenge today is to stay in front of the penetrators for Charlotte.
And they've got a veteran backcourt. It's McMillan, Jet Wilson, Boykin. There's Berger. That's good. Grace Berger, the senior.
Just so deadly from 16 feet on in. I know it's in the scouting report to not let her do that, but it's a lot easier said than done.
She is the veteran, the engine for this Indiana team. Goes for more than 16 a night. As you said, all five starters average double figures. It is a balanced group. Late shot clock once again. Boykin hoists it up. McKinney bodying that time with Holmes, but she secures the rebound. That's the junior. Cardano Hillary accelerates into the paint and draws the foul. Free throws for Indiana when we return. First round battle, the 3 and the 14 going head to head in Bloomington. He was blending, Helen, some new players, some transfers. Got off to a little bit of a rocky start, but really challenged themselves in the non-conference. Since that point, 18-3. Not just a tournament title, but a regular season title as well in Conference USA.
Yeah, just really struggled in January, trying to get some sort of chemistry. They were playing so much, they didn't have enough time to practice until February, and that's when it started to turn around for them a little bit, when they had a few days just to practice and not play.
Both of these teams are playing with a great deal of confidence. And Kara has mentioned that many times in the week leading up to this game. We belong to be here and battle for perhaps our first ever tournament victory in program history. That was J.C. Busick on the follow. Couldn't bounce it off the window. Then the foul on the back end. Well, meanwhile, Terry Morin has guided Indiana to 7 straight 20-win seasons. Last year, the run to the Elite Eight, program best. This year, a 3 seed in this tournament, program best. She keeps raising the bar for this program. Yeah,
they have goals that they want to reach. They didn't get the Big Ten championship like they wanted, so they regrouped, got some rest, and they're ready to go.
Oh, that time, Patberg got smothered right at the rim. Up ahead to Deja Lawrence, and the pull-up is down.
And so we see 2 substitutions already for Charlotte with Lawrence and with Busick, and they both contributed. One with the offensive rebound, and then Lawrence with the points there.
Oh, and Boykin on the other end with the block. Indiana, super efficient offense. You'll see quite a bit of ball movement and rhythm. Cardano Hillary, she is one of the more accurate three-point shooters in the Big Ten. And that one went over the backboard, ball back to the 49ers.
Yeah, Indiana's gotten some great shots. They just have not hit them.
3 out of 10 from the field to start. Well, how do you slow down this Indiana team? What is key today if you're Charlotte?
Well, I think the key for them is definitely to keep the ball out of the inside. It's where they have an advantage. But really, it's going to be on the defensive end for them, staying in front of the guards for Charlotte. They're great at penetrating. You see here, they will run Jet Wilson off of a lot of screens, and you've got to stay with her. You've got to communicate on those screens.
Player of the year in the conference went for 31 in that championship game against Louisiana Tech. Chloe Moore McNeil has just taken a substantial leap forward in her sophomore year. Buries the triple from the corner. McMillan, the drive, the kick out to Busick. And McMillan, the senior from Raleigh, she is the point. She initiates the offense for the 49ers. Lawrence might have taken some steps, and yes, they call the travel.
And one of the few turnovers that Charlotte's had here early. They've been pretty good running their offense and getting to the spots where they want to get, even though it's at the end of the shot clock.
This Indiana team, we talked about their veterans. You've got a handful of seniors, super seniors, one lone junior in the starting five. They're just a high IQ, mature team.
They are, but you know, Charlotte's not afraid, and that's what I love about them. In all their press conferences, that's been their theme. We are not afraid. We can compete. There, the ball finally goes inside. That's what Indiana wants to do. And that's their largest lead. That's only their 4th point in the paint, though.
Mackenzie Holmes with the latest. The 6'3" junior, who's the most important post player for this Indiana team. Jet Wilson attacks on the baseline, flings it up, rebound to Holmes. The quick outlet pass up ahead to Cardano Hillary, and a foul.
Yeah, hard to get the shots over the long arms of Chloe Moore McNeil, and oh my. I'm not sure, that's hard to see from that angle, but that looked like an awful lot of basketball.
Instead, it's the first on Lawrence. So here's where we are, by the way, the Bridgeport Regional. 2 games today inside Assembly Hall. First, the 3-14 battle, Indiana, Charlotte. Then it's Princeton and Kentucky. Those winners meet on Monday. And for the first tournament games in this building, for this women's program, boy, excellent crowd. There is a whole lot of crimson and cream in the stands. And they have certainly showed their support all year for this team and this weekend.
They were here early. We got here 90 minutes ahead of time, and they were already filing in to make sure they got their seats. It's a great environment.
12-2 in this building, and a 7-point lead for the Hoosiers. Gould Bay leaves that short. Charlotte in a hurry. McMillan lost it. Moore McNeil with the scoop. That's down. So 5 quick points for the sophomore off the bench.
And Indiana doing a good job of team defense, communicating on these screens, and not letting Charlotte get to where they want to go here these last couple of minutes. And this is where they usually isolate their players off the dribble, as you see there with Lawrence in the middle.
Lawrence, just a bit too much. Got the offensive rebound, foul from behind by Holmes. And heads to the free throw line with 16.8. So that's the first on Holmes.
That's where Charlotte's really good, off the bounce. When they make the defense shift sides, they make passes, make the defense shift, change sides of the floor, and then they penetrate off of that. That's where they get a lot of their points in the paint. And their points in the paint don't necessarily come from their post players. They come from the guards.
Well, in a veteran backcourt. Lawrence, one of the freshmen that comes off the bench, but McMillan, Jet Wilson, Boykin, all seniors for Cara Consuegra. Lawrence from Greenville, North Carolina, plays sparingly off the bench. 8-point game. And one more look for Indiana with 10 seconds to go. This is Berger. Inside to Holmes, a bit strong. Second chance, yes! And Indiana takes the 10-point lead.
And that's where the size of Indiana is going to be really difficult for UNC Charlotte.
Four points for Holmes, just a super balanced attack for Indiana. Holmes doing some work inside. That's the way you stick with it. Can't do it once, try again. 10 shaky shooting start, but finished 44% from the field, 6 different scores. We tried to tell you this is a balanced attack.
Yeah, and also got to the free throw line 6 times. They were 6 for 6, so took that early punch by Charlotte, but able to compose themselves. And Charlotte's been turning the ball over. That's their 4th turnover.
Indiana gives it right back.
Yeah, and Indiana's been able to get 8 fast break points off those turnovers, with the exception of that one. So they've got to take better care of the basketball. You have Jet Wilson on the bench now, so who is Charlotte going to go to for their scoring?
That's 19 points per game. That takes a seat early in the second quarter. Reach-in foul on Indiana.
I believe that's 2 fouls on Mackenzie Holmes right now. And that's
she starts
sort of
walking off. Yep.
Yeah, that's sort of a mismatch with her and McKinney, because McKinney can handle the ball on the perimeter. She can shoot threes and she can penetrate, from the 3-point line. So getting a little bit more athletic player in there for Indiana in Keandra Brown.
Might be a little easier for the Niners to attack the paint. Michaela Boykin, 4 years at Duke, spending her final season in Charlotte. Down to Williams, lost it. Berger on the floor for it. The senior with the hesitation puts it up. Rebound down to Keandra Brown. Yes.
And they would like for her to play more. She just has been hurt and not been able to give them the minutes that they'd like to give her.
Had some lingering hip issues, but meanwhile, the Hoosiers doubling up Charlotte. Indiana inside the top 10 the entire regular season, made the run to the Big Ten title game, ultimately fell to Iowa, and Caitlin Clark just didn't shoot as well as it needed to against a good offense. Speaking of hot shooting, Grace Berger cans it on the baseline, and Charlotte calls the timeout.
And that's a good timeout by Coach Consuegra. They need to get something going and stop these turnovers. We'll see what happens next.
For Terry Moore arrived in August of 2014, 4 tournaments. This is Indiana's 4th under Coach Morin. And it's just consistency. Helen, she continues to raise the bar. The Elite 8 run a year ago. This season as a 3 seed, the highest ever in program history. And she is known as someone who is not just an excellent coach, great players coach, but knows how to build a program and elevate the resources, recruiting, so on and so forth. And we've seen that over these last few years.
Yeah, and just obviously an Indiana native, so this is very important to her to be successful here.
Yep.
You see Charlotte finally, they came out in a set play, which I think was a good idea for Coach Consuegra to call a timeout and be very intentional about what you want to do on the offensive end of the floor, because they've been turning the ball over.
Yeah, too many. 5 for Charlotte, just 2 for Grace Berger and the Hoosiers. She's good at this, just the change of speed, change of direction. And the senior from Louisville is hot to start, 8 points. And a 17-2 run for Indiana.
And Charlotte has not scored in about 4 minutes. You see the ball sticking here a little bit. Indiana's great at team defense. And their main thing is they want to finish off that defense with rebounds to give themselves more opportunities on offense.
Yeah, difficult shot underneath the hoop that time by Boykin. Brown was right there to clear the board. The bucket and the foul. Alexa Gulbey at the line. Well, with Holmes on the bench, Gulbey, excellent post player for this team.
Yeah, she just came down, and I call that seek and destroy. She just went and found her defender right away off this fast break. And really, she was open here. They just didn't give her the basketball. Finally get it, able to use that pivot foot and work it, and so strong to get the opportunity at the end one here. Just a great job. And she's a kid they don't talk about enough out of those 5 in terms of her contribution. She was huge when Mackenzie Holmes was out for 8 games for Indiana. She held that down for them.
The Latvian doing her work early that time. Boy, a big run. It continues for Indiana. It's now a 20-2 trampling in a sense. This is McMillan into the paint. Close range look, bounces around the rim. Stays here, so a fresh 20 for the 49ers.
And you can see they're making it hard for Charlotte to score. Everything's contested. And here's Gulbey. When Holmes was out, she was very crucial to them, holding down that inside spot until she came back after 8 games.
Goulbe picks up Boykin, hoists it. That's Chloe Moore McNeil with the rebound. And Indiana always in a hurry. Cardano Hillary to the corner. Goulbe with the left hand this time.
Yeah, and just a mismatch. Busick is 6 foot, but no match for Goulbe on the inside there. Just great job of just clearing space and getting the defender on her rear end.
Just really crisp action on the offensive end. Now 8 points for Goulbe. Some vexing Indiana defense. The Niners have not had many clean looks since it was knotted up at 11. Boykin, no. And so Indiana can extend the 22-2 run. Patberg to Cardano Hillary. Well, if it's working, go back to Goulbe. Couldn't convert with the right hand.
And you see Indiana having much more patience on their offense here of late, not being rushed, running through their sets.
Jet Wilson, yep, back into the game.
Yeah, just been quiet here in the first half.
And a pull-up falls through. Octavia Jet Wilson, 3 of 5 from the field to 6 points. Averages 19 a game.
And that's their first bucket in 7 minutes. You see Indiana just going to go with their dribble drive until they can create something. They don't panic at the end of the shot clock.
Goulbe got bumped before the shot. First foul on Busick.
She is putting on a clinic of how to get position in the paint. And you see Charlotte here bringing in Middleton, trying to get a little bit more size, and so Indiana decides to counter with Wisney here.
Middleton, the 6'6" sophomore, off the bench for Kara Consuegra's team. Wisney checks in for the first time.
So you still have a mismatch in the post, whoever's going to guard Goulbe, even though they're in a zone right now.
Goulbe hoists it from 3, couldn't convert that time. Middleton, a touch, flings it, fouled. And the Charleston native is at the line. 4:52 to go in the second quarter. First round battle between Indiana and Charlotte. The Hoosiers, great start.
Needs to get something going here. One of the things that we talked with Coach Consuegra about when they were playing these Power 5 teams was getting off to a good start and not digging themselves such a hole, because it would be so difficult for them to get out, and that's not quite what they've done here, but they're on their way to doing that if they don't take better care of the basketball. And that has to do with Indiana's team defense.
Yeah, very good defense. Matter of fact, one of the most efficient in the nation. Indiana has held teams to just 62 points per game this year. That is in the rugged Big Ten. Off the miss, Jet Wilson had it knocked around, reaches for it. Cardano Hillary draws the foul. The dive on the floor, sacrifices the body into her own bench. And the whistle goes against Jet Wilson.
Now, that's only 2 on Jet Wilson, but you know Charlotte, they usually only play 6 or 7 players, so you need to watch that here in this first half.
That's the conference player of the year. That's going to remain in. 4:42 to go. Such a large lead. Coach Consuegra played at Iowa, fantastic player. We asked her about playing in this building. She goes, I posted a triple-double here once.
No, but first she said, I don't really want to brag on myself, but.
We said, we're going to brag on you tomorrow. Charlotte trying to string a couple of baskets together. Jet Wilson, not that time.
Everything that she's put up has been contested by Indiana, regardless of who's guarding her.
Cardano Hillary, watch that one bounce off the rim. Oh, good blow by that time, Michaela Boykin.
And there's where Charlotte has the advantage, where Coach Moran was concerned, staying in between their guards in the basket.
First bucket of the night for Boykin. Charlotte shooting just 29% from the field, the Conference USA champions. Cardano Hillary on the pull-up.
She's George Mason's all-time leading scorer. We talk about her defense, but she does have offensive ability.
And she did that in just a couple of years. Transferred to Indiana, the fifth-year senior. Who was born in Madrid. Spent most of her childhood there, moved to Texas. And finishing off her career in style with the Hoosiers. Kiki McKinney, that time was just bothered by Gulbe. Indiana in a hurry. Gulbe wants another, lines it up, yes.
Did I call it at the beginning of the broadcast, or did I call it at the beginning of the broadcast? My favorite player. She can hurt you anywhere, inside or out.
Nearly at her average, 11 points in the first half. McMillan answers off the window. And it's that versatility, inside and out for Gulbe, that can really bother opponents.
Well, and it's such an advantage because depending on who she guards, Indiana will put her in certain places.
McMillan had lost Berger momentarily, recovered, but fouls her.
You see Gulbe, McKinney's not going to come out there, and they're going to make her pay for that. When she gets a smaller player, they're going to put her inside. When she gets a post player, they're going to let her shoot threes.
Receives the appreciation from the crowd while she takes a seat. Couple of triples, couple of buckets inside. That was the fourth team foul on Charlotte. First on McMillan. Boy, Berger is such a crafty scorer. Can do it at the rim. Has a great jump shot as well. The All-American honorable mention. And so Berger and Gulbe, Helen, together have outscored Charlotte. They've got 21.
And Berger's been doing it in different ways too. She posted up that last time to get the foul.
Middleton, yeah, has the advantage inside.
And this is, still sort of a disadvantage because Mackenzie Holmes can shoot threes as well. So we'll see if they try to go inside with her.
Third straight tournament appearance for Indiana. Reached the Elite Eight a year ago, off to a fast start in its first round battle against Charlotte. Late in the first half, an 18-point lead. McMillan, the ball fake, had some separation, flips it, turnover. 1:30 to go in the second quarter. Berger left it short. Now Charlotte had numbers momentarily. The 2-on-1, the layup, and Boykin couldn't convert at the rim. And then the foul in the backcourt, and that's going to send Indiana to the line for two. Remember, coming up, we've got the Degree halftime report. We'll go to the studio with Elle Duncan, Nikki Fargas, Rebecca Lobo. Pretty tame first day, I suppose, outside of, we had a couple of 10 seeds yesterday, victorious. Florida Gulf Coast with the quote-unquote upset. That's a 30-2 team as a 12 seed that knocked off Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Liz Kitley had 42 points in that game, a career high. But Kirsten Bell, somebody that you need to watch for Florida Gulf Coast. She is an unbelievable player.
Halftime crew is going to run through all of those highlights, those recaps. Boy, South Carolina, the #1 overall seed, took care of business the other day. Caitlin Clark always draws the attention of hoop fans across the nation. We've got Rebecca Lobo's former teammate at UConn coming up later. Princeton and Kentucky. Carla Berrubi's Tigers take on the Wildcats after this one. So two quality games in Bloomington to get things started this weekend.
We've got some phenomenal coaches who were phenomenal players back in their day.
Cardano Hillary size it up. Jet Wilson took it away. A Player of the Year in Conference USA, scores it. So a nice little response after Charlotte had fallen behind by as many as 20. 8 points for Jet Wilson, the fifth-year senior from Greenbelt, Maryland.
Watch for the pick and pop here with Gulbe and Berger. She's going to let the clock run down and try to go as far as she can.
Berger with the 10 first half points. Turns the corner, spins, puts it up, falls through. Grace Berger, the veteran, the engine of this Hoosiers team, winds up with a dozen. A brilliant first half for the Hoosiers. 20-2 when leading at the half. We'll send it up to Bristol. Here's L. Dime City, Indiana.
Did not know that.
10 assists on 15 makes. And that duo of Gulbe, not just Berger, but her counterpart in the first half, Alexa Gulbe, combined for 23. What does Charlotte need to do to get back in this game?
Well, they've got to get Jet Wilson going. I mean, they run a lot of plays with her off screens, and I didn't see them do that as much in the first half or make Indiana work on defense.
And they had to work for that one. Allie Patberg with the shot clock winding down. The seventh-year senior. I've seen a sixth-year senior.
I've never seen a seven-year senior.
Started at Notre Dame. Tore her ACL her freshman year, sat out that season, then sat out the transfer year, heading to Bloomington after a couple of years in South Bend. A veteran presence, a 25-year-old's been great for this team. So is Cardano Hillary. Largest lead of the afternoon for Indiana, and two quick punches right after the halftime break.
Well, and that's where they can beat Indiana off the dribble. You see Hillary there thinking that someone was going to come over and help her. That's what Charlotte does well, and they need to get back to doing that.
Jada McMillan with the latest for the 49ers, the Conference USA champs. This game was knotted up at 11. Indiana then went on a huge run, and they continue to pour it on. Mackenzie Holmes, good action rolling to the rim.
Yeah, just good patience there. Two players took the ball, and nice little bounce pass by Berger there into Holmes.
Remember, Holmes picked up 2 fouls quickly in that first half, sat for much of it. Gulbe stepped up. Oh, that's a beautiful swish. That time, Michaela Boykin, pure from 15. Stays here.
And nice little two-person action there. Berger, nice little bounce pass, and McKinney not making a decision one way or the other, just sort of in no man's land there.
So as a team, Indiana now shooting close to 50% from the floor. Highly efficient on this end of the floor. Holmes traveled though. Established the pivot foot, then picked it up. Ball back to Charlotte. Terry Morin's team has just been, without a doubt, one of the best in the nation all year. They were in the top 10 for the entirety of the regular season, then won 3 games a couple of weeks ago, reached the Big Ten tournament final. Boykin leaves that short.
You see Charlotte, they're only getting one opportunity at the basket. They don't make that. They're providing some offense through transition for Indiana, as you see Berger there with the layup.
Berger with 14, getting close to her season average. McKinney flings that one wide.
And I actually think that's a mismatch for Holmes. McKinney's so athletic.
That's a Kentucky transfer. Tried to feed it to her again. The tip, and Holmes comes away with the steal. That was Patberg who deflected it.
And just a bad angle there. Needed another dribble and a bounce pass into the post there.
Much better angle. Higher percentage look. Gulbe converts.
And you see Middleton getting up off the bench again. Force Charlotte to come in and try to alleviate some of that.
24-point lead for Indiana. McMillan picks up the dribble on the baseline. There's Jet Wilson. For the 27th time this year, she's been in double figures. It's been difficult for her. She's earned those 10 quite nicely. The first Conference USA Player of the Year in Charlotte program history. Indiana going to work. Fade, Goulbe, short. Near turnover, and Cardano Hillary can let it bounce out. That pass went awry.
And you see the resignation on the face of McMillan there. Yeah, they need to get Jet Wilson the ball more. They have a lot of set plays where they run her off screens, and I think they need to do that more.
That's now 8 turnovers for Charlotte. Now Middleton was set to check in. She will. Molina Williams tried to sneak in there as well. And Missy Brooks said, you got to wait for the next whistle. Fresh shot clock for Indiana after the turnover. Left-hand dribble for Cardano Hillary, draws the foul. All right, so you're imploring Jet Wilson to get moving here. It's just been what a journey for the senior from Greenbelt, Maryland. There's her mother, Gloria, who passed away when she was in middle school. And Jet Wilson, who up until this year, she was Octavia Wilson, her mother's last name Jet, and she said, for my final year of college basketball, I'm dedicating this season to Gloria. What does she end up doing? Ends up winning Player of the Year in the conference.
And came back specifically to be in games like this, win the conference tournament, get that ring, and get to the NCAA tournament with Charlotte. Just has had as you said, have earned all of those points that she's gotten today.
And she will go down as one of the best players in program history. McMillan, meanwhile, in the paint. But Charlotte has had a tough time getting the clean looks. You've outlined Indiana's stingy defense today. So efficient on this end as well. Berger, that's an easy lay-in, had the clear path to the rim. 1,500 points in her career now. She's got 16 today.
Yeah, just great patience. They don't panic with the clocks running down. They know where they're supposed to be. As you see, again, Wilson getting an opportunity here. Indiana just, they don't panic.
The poised, veteran, mature Hoosiers. All that experience, they've got a huge lead in the third quarter. It's so crisp and clean. What do they do well?
Yeah, just rhythm. This is a veteran team. They don't take a whole lot of time, don't have a lot of purposeless dribbles, just patience, spacing, and they spread it out so wide that the help can't come or it comes too late. You see here, just all outside the three-point line, and Berger with a nice hard cut, and the help from Lawrence way too late coming over. Just a veteran team, you can tell, just a lot of reps at that one particular offense.
These numbers are eye-popping. Put your glasses on if you need to take a peek. So Mackenzie Holmes, a junior, she's been in this program for a number of years, 1,000-point scorer. She's, like the baby of this group in a sense. You've got a handful of seniors, super seniors. Every one of them has scored at least 1,000 points in their career. So you would expect what you just outlined there from a veteran group like this.
Yeah, I mean, they're not on automatic pilots, but you can tell they've had a lot of reps and they don't get flustered. They know exactly what they're looking for, and they take exactly what the defense gives them, no matter where they are in the play.
They've got that cruise control set like right at 70, a little above the speed limit, doing some good things. Yeah, 55% from the field, and Holmes adds to it.
And I think Coach Moran does a very good job of putting people where they're going to be successful, as you see there in the short corner by Mackenzie Holmes, and the defense again by Indiana.
Into a crowd. Middleton was swarmed. More McNeil pulls up. That's good. Indiana is 8 of 9 from the field to start the second half, and they're pouring it on right now.
You saw Chloe McNeil there. I think she's going to be a really good player. We were laughing yesterday when they said she actually put on weight during the season, but she's got some skills. Did you see Middleton get an opportunity here and not be able to take advantage of it?
Yeah, close range look. And Indiana always in a hurry, under control though in transition. Holmes turns, loves to spin over that right shoulder. A little too much heat behind it. This is Jet Wilson. Very good at attacking. Gulbe affected the shot with the contest. Berger's pass knocked right back to her. Like Cardano Hillary, known as a three-point shooter, has done a terrific job of getting into the paint, sets up the Gulbe three offline.
Cardano is underrated in terms of being a penetrator for Indiana. She will pound that basketball wherever she needs to get an opening.
McKinney out to Lawrence.
You see the ball, the difference here, the ball sticking for Charlotte when someone catches it, as opposed to the fluid movement we highlighted earlier for Indiana.
It's not just ball movement, it's body movement, player movement as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, Kara Consuegra 2 weeks ago named the Conference USA Coach of the Year, deservedly so. Has guided this program back to the Women's Championship for the first time in 13 years. And this team had a wonderful mindset heading into this game. Confidence after winning 18 of their final 21, a championship. However, they've been down by double figures the majority of this one. This is Boykin, down and out.
Well, and that confidence comes from their coach from the top. She spoke about that yesterday in terms of how she viewed this team, you know, from January and then February on, when they had that streak where they were playing really, really well.
Holmes, no. Less than 2.5 to go in the third quarter. This game was tied at 11 in the first, and again, Indiana went on a gaudy run. It was a 22-2 run at one point, and another turnover. And you're seeing the display of the balance that even Coach Consuegra acknowledged leading up to this one, both on the defensive end and the offensive end. Indiana top 30 in terms of offense and defensive efficiency on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, it makes it hard for you to game plan because usually there are one or two players and you can run something. You see the offensive there, rebound by Mackenzie Holmes. You can run something defensively to stop one or two players, but when you have to play all 5 players here, you see Gulbe there, the nice athletic move, even though she missed it, but Holmes able to clean it up there. And she's a really hard guard for anybody.
Yeah, this team almost took a step forward, and Holmes such a critical piece. A 2-year starter, 2-time All Big Ten selection. Missed 8 games, had a knee surgery earlier this year, so some players who were deeper down the rotation got some opportunities. Boy, Holmes, she is working alongside her brother. Her brother Cam is a student manager. They go toe-to-toe in practice. We hear they get along great. Are we sure they're brother and sister?
Yeah, and I think for Indiana, that was beneficial for them because you had players like Moore McNeil and then obviously Peterson getting some time here today. And Brown able to get a little bit more time. And it took a while for Mackenzie Holmes to get back, get her win back.
Drive and kick, 3 in the air. Pat Berg couldn't connect. And ball back to Charlotte, 1:16 to go in the third. If Indiana does indeed move on, it would take the miraculous fourth quarter comeback from Charlotte, of course. It would face Kentucky or Princeton. That's our second game in Bloomington. And those winners meet on Monday.
And I think that's going to be a great game, Kentucky and Princeton. I know Princeton has the lower seed, but It would not surprise me at all if they were able to beat Kentucky today.
Boy, these two, you see there the 6 and 11 battle. I think there's Ryan Howard there.
She's got a little bit of game.
One of the best players in college basketball these last few years.
Really
relaxing.
Enjoyed speaking with her yesterday after practice. Very engaging young lady.
Well, Princeton and Kentucky met in the first round of the 2019 Women's Championship. That was a brilliant game. And will we see another one later? Just another attack right at the rim. Gulbe, the beneficiary, with 15 points. Half a minute to go, third quarter. Molina Williams had it jarred away. Lawrence right into Gulbe and lays it in.
That's a great shot. But again, everything for Charlotte is contested. Very few wide open looks.
It has been an arduous task today for Charlotte. Had a fantastic season to this point. Just 33% from the field, though. And down by nearly 30. This is Berger again, going to work on the pull-up. Done with 3. And Indiana, 10 minutes away from advancing to the round of 32.
Yeah, Indiana Hoosiers again, rhythm and flow. Just moving, great ball movement, great people movement, great spacing. Great.
The Charlotte 49ers, and you see the disparity there. This is our Adidas achieving the impossible. You see the disparity in field goal percentage. Indiana has just been a freight train at times. Plus 10 in the fast break points department as well. And Gulbe and Berger nearly outscoring Charlotte themselves.
Yeah, and you see Indiana come out, maybe working on something for the next game, and they're really high 2-3 there. Able to get some points there finally for Jet Williams.
Pass tipped. McMillan pounces on it to Williams. The runner fading away, gets the offensive board, knocked out, and Cardano Hillary last touched it. So stays here with Charlotte. Well, how has Indiana done it? How did it build the lead so quickly offensively? What stood out?
What stood out was that 7-minute span where Charlotte wasn't able to score because of the defense of Indiana, and they turned all of that into inside points, whether it was Gulbe or Mackenzie Holmes for Indiana.
28 points in the paint, plus 10 compared to the 49ers. And that was an offensive foul on Charlotte, so ball back to Indiana. This is Holmes underneath, making 30 points inside the paint. And Mackenzie Holmes in double figures once again, 13 points for the two-time All-Big Ten selection. This Hoosiers team has just been so consistent all year. That's Jet Williams now with back-to-back buckets. You know, and this team tested itself as well. You know you're going to get a test in Big Ten play.
Every night, yes.
But it played NC State. It played Stanford, played Miami in the non-conference. A couple of 1 seeds, by the way, that it faced. There's Berger just going to work.
She is so athletic. Her game has gotten so much better over the last couple of years. She can pretty much get to wherever she wants off the dribble.
And coming back for one more year.
And I think that's good for her, because one of the areas that she needs to improve in her game is her three-point shooting. You don't really see her shoot it in game. She does have the ability to do that, but that's definitely something that she needs to improve on.
7 of 12 from the field. You nailed it. Hasn't taken a three. Everything's been about 18 feet and in. Not that time. Berger has just steadily grown into one of the best and most consistent scorers in the Big Ten. Jet Wilson that time with the heave and heading to the free throw line. Bridgeport Regional coming up next. We've got Princeton and Kentucky. That's at 4 Eastern over on ESPN. And UConn, the 2 seed in this bracket, has advanced and just trampled Mercer
And you see UCF there with Katie Henderson and Kelly Ray Finley from Florida. Florida's ranked 10 there, 10-7. That could be another upset in the bracket for today.
Well, in this bracket, it featured NC State is the 1, UConn the 2, Indiana, of course, right here the 3, Oklahoma is the 4. And the game that's coming up next, you know, UConn, of course, is always a popular Final Four pick. NC State has had another fantastic season, but Kentucky, kind of a trendy pick. It's won 10 straight, had that resurgent run to end the year, has won 10 straight, including the SEC title. Allie Patberg buries a deep triple to extend the lead back to 30.
Yeah, she's been quiet today, but she's had to work really hard to guard Jet Williams for the majority of the game.
On the pull-up, that time it's Boykin, buries it. Boy, Patberg and Boykin, 2 examples of perseverance. Patberg, I mentioned before, she tore her ACL as a freshman at Notre Dame. Transferred here after her sophomore season, and you talk to anyone around the program, this was the perfect place for her. There's Williams with a strong rebound over Goulbay. Here's Boykin, the former Duke Blue Devil, gives it off to Jet Wilson, and she's at the line for 2. Jet Wilson has had such a fantastic career tonight. 17 points, looking for a little more. But I mentioned Boykin. And she spent all those years at Duke. When she came out of high school, really highly regarded. Was the North Carolina Gatorade Player of the Year. You can see her in the background there, number 12 in the green. Goes to Duke, and Helen tears her ACL December of her freshman year. Worked so hard to rehab back, and there you see 2019 tears the right ACL in January of her sophomore season. Finally returns to 100% full health. Pandemic hits the following year. Duke shut its season down after just 4 games, and for Boykin, it was where can I finish my career? Hit the transfer portal, had a great conversation with Kara Consuegra, and she's going to finish off her career as a top performer for this team, a Conference USA champ. It's the example of perseverance.
Yeah, and then just a great opportunity, good use of the transfer portal by the Charlotte 49ers. We've got a couple transfers here, McKinney from Kentucky, and it's really done a great job of integrating those transfers into their offense.
Well, Kara told us she and Boykin just hit it off. And they shared a mutual friend, Boykin's AAU coach from back in the day, very close with Consuegra. And they just have this authentic relationship. A very musically inclined Michaela Boykin as well. On the other end, Indiana scores it.
Yeah, she's got a rap EP coming out at the end of the month called
bars, yeah.
Worth the Wait. I went and listened to it last night, and she's got some game.
McKinney leaves it, or pardon, McMillan leaves it short. So, yeah, next season's first shoot-around, you don't need the Spotify,
right, you're just going to play
R&B,
her EP.
Just find Boykin's Spotify station. McKinney fouls Cardano Hillary.
Yeah, we did ask Coach Consuegra if she was good, and she said she actually listened to it and she liked it. So if your head coach likes it, she's been working really hard, though, after graduating from Duke to be an entrepreneur, and kudos to her.
Yeah, it is very entrepreneurial there. Holmes just with that no hesitation, the quick spin. And Indiana, as advertised, has been one of the best teams in the nation from start to finish here.
Well, and you see them making a concerted effort to still get it to Mackenzie Holmes, because they still need to keep her in rhythm. Hasn't been back that long. She needs reps.
No look, out of bounds, and things are going right. What a week for the Indiana Hoosiers. What a week for the Indiana cheerleaders as well. More on that when we come back. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Just the incredible display of ingenuity, the feats of strength out in Portland, Oregon. Now, of course, the men's NCAA tournament running concurrently with the women's championship. Indiana, as a 12 seed, was out in Portland. They were playing St. Mary's where the basketball got stuck on top of the backboard. So Nathan Paris and Cassidy Cerny, I mean, they did something that no single human, no floor mop could achieve. A couple of players and court personnel, they were trying to retrieve the basketball that wound up on top of the, on top of the backboard in that game a couple of nights ago. No one could do it. And they formed the mega person, and Cerny went up there to retrieve it.
Just one of their normal routines.
I mean, that's engine, right? That's like nothing to them.
Beautiful execution out of the timeout offensively by Indiana there. Just getting whatever they want on offense.
The turnover. First action, first minutes for Caitlin Peterson, and she's got a bucket.
Appreciation from the crowd and her teammates.
Boy, this has been all Indiana. The favorites have been in control since the first quarter. Count that bucket. And Boykin is at the free throw line looking for the three-point play. There goes Cardano Hillary. Gets the ovation from the crowd. But Indiana in position to advance to the round of 32 to face either Kentucky or Princeton. That's the next battle coming up at 4 Eastern. Inside Assembly Hall, that one on ESPN. But lights out from the field, 55% from the field is Indiana tonight. Moore Mitchell, bounce pass, great cut, but Grace Wagner was out of bounds. A memorable season for Charlotte, led by Jet Wilson. Wagner comes back with the block. Lead feed to Holmes.
When the big girl runs, you got to give her the basketball.
Berger, Holmes, and Goulbe have combined for 52. Indiana's 3 leading scorers doing exactly what you'd expect that trio to do. And Helen, this team, they're on the verge. Just 2 minutes, 45 seconds away from advancing in its 3rd straight tournament. So 3 straight tournaments, but they've won a game in all 3. Wagner starts it with the block here.
Yeah, you see Mackenzie Holmes. This is great because they know she's in shape, running the floor and giving her the basketball here. Chloe Moore McNeil making a great pass. As you said, dime Indiana.
Yeah, dime city, right? That's perfectly placed. Yeah, 22 assists on the 33 makes. And that is a phenomenal assist rate. Ariel Wisney into the game for the first time. Out to Moore McNeil. Lawrence comes down with it. McMillan, contested jumper.
I think Indiana's, for the most part, has done a good job of staying in front of the penetrators from Charlotte for most of the game, with a few exceptions, and that was something that they really felt would be a challenge for them.
Terry Morin takes a timeout. Indiana with the huge lead, 2 minutes to go. Indiana 2 minutes away from advancing to the round of 32. They have been excellent today on both ends of the floor. Meanwhile, the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship second round continues today on CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. For more info on tournament times, go to ncaa.com. Boy, a rough night a couple of days ago in Lexington. The men's program falling to St. Peter's, so the Kentucky women's program coming up next. They are the main show in town, and they play Princeton in their first round battle coming up later at 4 Eastern. Mona Zaric, that's her first basket of the season, and the appreciation from the bench, the crowd, her teammates. Boy, this Hoosiers team is dangerous. Took 31 games. The Serbian has her first basket. And the freshman getting some run here. I mean, what makes this Indiana team, Helen, dangerous moving forward now in this tournament?
Well, I think you got to pick your poison, right? Inside, outside. I mean, they're so balanced. You have 4 players in double figures. You don't have Pat Berg in double figures, but give her a pass on that today because she had to guard Jet Williams. So it's just really difficult to game plan for 5 people. That means you have to play, you have to be connected for 30 seconds, everybody, on every possession, and that's really difficult.
Well, and Indiana is a more of a measured team on offense in terms of its cadence. It uses up a lot of the shot clock. It waits for that breakdown. Wagner and the foul.
And that's a perfect example, and you got to give it to the coaching staff that you've got players out here who don't normally play a lot, and for them to execute the last 2 possessions pretty much like the starting 5 there, to see Wagner get the opportunity for the N1. That says a lot about the coaching staff.
Took a hard fall and has the chance for the 3-point play. The junior from Vincennes.
Doesn't hurt as much when you make the shot.
Wagner. Well, there's Charlotte, meanwhile. A championship season for the 49ers. Won the Conference USA regular season and tournament title. Went 15-3 in league play. They won a lot of close games. And this was a team that, talk about connected, was a united team this year and got better as the year progressed.
And they were all very single-minded about what they wanted to accomplish this year, especially going into the Big Ten tournament. 4 games, 4 days. Not able to finish that off, but still felt good about some of the things that they were able to do during that time period, and just wanted to, after they got some rest, work to improve those things so that they can get farther, hopefully, than the Elite 8 this year.
A handful of seniors: McMillan, Jet Wilson, Boykin. McKinney transferred in, of course, you mentioned before. Their stay may have been brief for a couple of those players, but the impact, an invaluable one on the program. The first title for this program in 13 years. They get this March Madness experience, but Indiana is ready to march on to the round of 32. It'll face either Princeton or Kentucky. Well, you want to talk about hot teams. Kentucky has won 10 straight, including that dramatic win against South Carolina in the SEC championship. Meanwhile, Princeton's won 17 in a row, so Indiana's going to get one of the better teams in the nation of late in the round of 32. That matchup coming up at 4 Eastern on ESPN. Charlotte, one last possession. Lawrence got it. Indiana continues to raise the bar. It's been in this tournament 3 straight years. It's won a game in this tournament 3 straight years. The Elite Eight run a year ago left a little sour taste in the mouth. Just one win shy of a Final Four. And this Indiana team is Final Four good. That does it for us in Bloomington. For Helen Williams and our entire crew, I'm Kevin Fitzgerald. Let's go to the studio. Here's Elle.